All right, babe.
All right.
Hi.
Hey, we're going to do a catch up. Let's do a catch up. So everyone gets to see what we do in real life.
So how's your week been?
Week has been good. So the big thing, of course, is we did that, the emotion codex you recommended.
Yeah. You had a session already?
I had a session already.
Oh.
Session already. It was fast. I called Monday, a couple, texts back and forth, set it up. And at first, to be honest with you, I thought I was just going to
that's good.
they were just going to do it and then they'll catch. Like I wasn't thinking of doing it where they were going to contact me in person while they're doing it. And it felt comfortable. Like she was cool enough to do that. And so went to bed last night and come to find out, woke up this morning and again, she's in India 9.5 hours ahead of us. So I woke up to her saying, oh, I just did I woke up 4:00 this morning and it had come in and she had just finished it. And she said, oh, if you want to report, she gave me the report, read through that real quickly. And then I had some questions and then she was like, well, later on today, if you want to, we can talk. And I was like, perfect. Yeah. So then, so she went through it. Right.
Okay.
And so that was, I thought I was going to I didn't necessarily expect that I was going to feel something that right then and there.
Right.
But yesterday at work during the day, I just noticed I flowed a little better, right?
Yeah.
Like I was just like, huh. So I knew that was coming up and I'm thinking like, okay, maybe that was, but I didn't know what time she was doing it. So when I told her that, she said, well, that's interesting because I actually had sat down and it was all ready to do your report and that would have been 10 o'clock my time. It was whatever time it was for her.
Okay.
So the 10 o'clock my time in the morning is around that time I was feeling, like calmer, flowing. I was like, huh. She said she sat down, was about to start my reading, and then she got interrupted. Someone had an emergency, and so she had to shut it down.
Right.
And so, I kind of feel, and she kind of feels that the fact that she was about to start.
Right.
Right. So anyway, she put it for later in the day, her evening. So that would have been her evening, my morning. Yeah.
Right.
But that was intense. Intense, not the feelings, but intensive, like. Oh, okay. That's what that is. That's what it is. So, as you know, she went and she put the specific emotion that got cleared and the year, the age you were, which that I didn't know, right? So she put the ages, and 3 of those ages were all around like 24, 27, 26. Yeah, those were pretty heavy duty years.
Wow.
And, when certain emotions got stuck.
Yeah.
So she's saying that she cleared those out, which I thought was. I was like, okay, yeah. So then when we talked, I got to ask some more questions about kind of how the process works.
Right.
And, some of it I understood, right? Like, emotions get stuck in your body, blah, blah, blah. This was more the generational one. I just wanted a little more clarification.
Sure.
And she said something about, I forgot what it was. It was like some kind of issue with stubbornness with my mom. And it was in utero, like that kind of thing. Like there was some kind of energy passed down. And so I kind of asked her about that. It says, well, yeah, whatever she was going through, that was the energy she was going through in utero.
Right.
So it wasn't my emotion, it was her emotions.
Right.
And so that was transmitted to me, right?
Wow.
And it just made me all the more realize why, they do, the tradition has been like women stay calm during those time periods. They don't want them to have the any undue stress, those type of things. And so that kind of made me realize, because I am aware of some of the chaos around my mom's life, unfortunately, during that time period. And I wouldn't be surprised that she would felt lonely or isolated, like frustrated. So I'm not terribly surprised that that's it.
Yeah.
But it was good to know that. But really, I'm kind of looking forward to seeing what shifts occur
from
that. And, I have a feeling it's like anything else, layers.
Yeah.
So I feel I'm going to be pulling that layer out.
Sure.
But yeah, so I'll probably go back to, in a week time, I say, okay, a week, be in touch with you and then see where we're at with some of these and then,
Sure.
But yeah, no, I felt that there was stuff from my dad's lineage.
Yeah.
The issue with some emotional depression, this and that. She mentioned that was on my mother's dad's side, like her dad. So my grandfather, my mom's side, and it's interesting. Again, this is the part where were being metaphysical. For some reason, when she said that, I knew him growing up, and I was around him. I didn't know the intimate details of his life, those things, but I knew him, and but there was some kind of connection when she mentioned that there was a conflict in his life that was kind of passed on to my mom,
right,
which then passed on to me.
right,
And so Smita was saying that every time that conflict comes up, that's what probably caused the depression in my life.
It's like patterns that keep living out through the lineage.
And that's specifically what I wanted to do. I wanted to specifically focus on clearing lineage stuff.
Right.
Like I was like, okay, I want to work on this. So that was kind of cool. But for some reason, when she mentioned that, like I could connect with that. For some reason, I was just like, yeah, I wouldn't be surprised. Again, didn't know all the details, but my grandfather, he built that. So he was born and raised in Haiti. My mom was born and raised in Haiti. He built the house that they grew up in, like with his own hands. So this man was a farmer. He did all these things. And so I can kind of see where I kind of get that, but also a hard scrabble life, right? Right. So I can imagine the difficulties they have there. But yeah. So I was really excited to kind of see.
Babe, that's so cool. And that's like one layer. One layer. Of the onion.
Yeah. So, and there was a lot of, it was like 6, 7, or whatever it was. But I'm looking forward to seeing what that is. Because it wasn't like that night I was like restless and, I felt, but I know it hits everyone differently. But over this next week, I want to see, maybe 2 weeks it might take, but I want to see, I'm looking for concrete effects, of course. But even if they're subtle, I feel like I'll be connected to that. Like I'll be aware. So yeah, so I'm looking for it. So that was really fun. Babe. So thank you. That was really good.
You're welcome. So funny you say that about like you were feeling it when she was about to work on you, right? So I had a similar thing where all of a sudden I thought of her and I'm like, oh, like I wonder, when she's going to do my thing. And I went to go look at their text and she was literally writing my report. So it's like, okay, we have that connection.
We have connection already,
we felt, So the first one was really huge and she did a lot of heart healing.
Okay.
And I can tell you, I definitely feel a difference.
Okay.
Since then. Now it's been about a week and a half.
Okay.
And it was around a specific issue. Okay. And I really feel a difference around that specific issue.
Okay.
Yeah.
Okay.
I feel a big shift. So I'm so grateful and excited about, just nonstop growing and peeling the onion.
Peeling the onions, Yeah, there was a lot of that. So yeah, it just felt similarly, and apparently she also lived in Florida too. I don't know if you told her. She used to live in Tampa, and then she also lived for a time in Jacksonville. So it's just weird. Like I don't know how that came up. I think she was like, "Where am I at?" I said, "Oh, I'm in Orlando. Disneyland or Disney World, blah, blah, blah." And she's like, "Oh, wait up, I lived in, so that was kind of cool so there's a connection."
She never said that to me.
Yeah.
But I told you, I think that her big following is in Florida.
That's right.
So
You did mention that. You did mention that.
I didn't know she lived here.
Yeah, she lived here. Yeah. I don't know when or where, but yeah, she spent time in Tampa, and she liked Tampa better than she liked Jacksonville. So there you go.
Okay. Wow.
Go figure.
All right. So I'm going to be sending out my B-Day invites.
Oh, yes.
Today.
Okay, good.
So it's going to be Saturday, April 29th.
Yep. I got the date. I got to save that.
Can't wait. And so I'm also working on reconsecrating all my spiritual tools.
Oh, okay. Oh, that's good. That's nice. Yeah.
It's good to do that.
It's a good technique. Yeah, I mean, practice.
Every 3 to 6 months, right?
Yep.
So working on that, fresh energy, spring cleaning.
Spring cleaning, yeah.
So I don't know if I told you, but I was just randomly researching bread.
Okay.
Because obsessed with bread, right? And always looking for a good quality that's fermented, organic, whatnot. Sure. So I found a company in town that makes organic fermented sourdough.
Oh God.
Homemade.
Oh man.
I'm actually picking it up after we stop this video.
Okay, I may have to like swoop by over there and grab some myself. Oh my God, that sounds amazing.
And it's by me. It's not far from my place.
Okay. What's the name?
Nomad.
Okay.
So it's a very limited thing. So she opens up the menu on Tuesdays.
Oh.
And it's usually sold out within a half hour.
All pre-orders.
Pre-orders.
So I can't just walk in there
No.
pretty much.
But I'll send you the website.
Okay.
So it's Tuesdays at 5. She goes live for pre-orders, and then you pick it up Saturday afternoon.
Wow. Okay.
So she has a sourdough, and then she has a rye sourdough, and then a ton. She's also a pastry chef,
Gotcha.
so then she also has a ton of pastries and desserts. Yeah. So I've tried it all, and I loved it. Both the sourdough and the rye I've tried.
Okay.
So I'm just super excited. We have like good bread.
Good quality bread.
You know?
And artisanal, right? Which
Yeah.
is really nice.
Mhm.
And it's interesting. I kind of like that model, right? Because then she can target it, so she's not wasting. She can maximize the time for the space that she's there. Because a typical store setting, she'd have to like have a bunch of stuff made and then they may not all sell out. But so now it's almost like targeted, which is so good. It'll be good for her. Okay, yeah.
And she's operating under the cottage law.
Yes, so that's even better.
You know, and
these are the small suppliers that we need to kind of reconnect with. And
the fact that she makes it limited just brings more frenzy to it.
Correct.
You know?
Yep. Well, this is more of a corporate model, but that crumble cookie I've seen around.
Oh yeah.
Well, there's a frenzy around it for sure, but they don't have like limited.
Okay.
I mean, they'll have limited editions seasonally.
Right.
But I've seen lines around the block for that thing. That's like crack, apparently. I've not had them. I know I've had a friend of mine give me a piece of one. They're delicious. I can't have too many of those, but I've seen it's like crack. It's like crack.
I've seen them around town, but I know of the insomnia cookies, which are also like crack, and they're open till like 3 a.m.
Oh, I didn't even heard about
And they deliver.
Oh God.
They're all over. UCF, downtown.
Oh, I'd never heard of them. Yeah. Okay. Well, someone's making a ton of money.
Yeah. Cookies. Hey.
You can't go wrong. Can't go wrong.
So on this week, I'm getting a session with an acupuncturist at the clinic.
Oh, okay. Oh, wow.
Did I tell you about this?
The clinic. Which clinic?
The clinic that you taught at.
Oh, at the school. FCIM. Okay,
school.
awesome.
I've never been there.
Oh, wow. I didn't know. Okay, cool.
So it's through one of our mutual friends who's learning there. And I guess there's a woman in the school who's also an energy healer. Gotcha. So there's been some crazy transformations that she's been doing on people coming into the clinic.
Oh, wow. Okay. Yes.
So I'm getting that this week.
That's
so
nice.
I'm super excited.
That's good. Thanks for let me know. Yeah, when I was there was always it was pretty dynamic. There was always, I can remember there was one of the students who was a medical intuitive, like a legit medical intuitive when I was going to school there.
No way.
Several of the professors there there was just a lot of different things. So I'm glad to see that's kind of energy is still popping off over there. That's great. Oh,
cool?
Yeah, that's really cool.
So I'll let you know what I think.
Yeah.
Okay, so there's this. Oh my God, I was so excited. I wanted to tell you this a while ago. So there's actually a software out there that this woman has created that's an astrology software. Chinese though. It's Chinese astrology software. You punch in your birth data.
Oh, really?
And she puts the Chinese astrology on top of the calendar.
Oh, okay.
Okay. So she gives you 12 months of your Chinese astrology day to day.
Got it.
Better days for this, better days for that.
Okay.
All that kind of stuff.
Okay.
Good days to launch, not good days to launch.
Sure.
All of that stuff.
Fascinating. Okay.
Isn't that cool?
Yeah.
So I just found out about it, and I got the trial period. It's for a month.
Okay.
So I'm just like testing it out. But you have to it's not a thing where you can just download the software. You have to get a membership.
Yeah, membership. Yeah. Okay.
Isn't that cool?
That's cool. It's going to give you a lot of details. Yeah.
Videos for the new game.
So all based on Chinese astrology.
So you don't necessarily need to know the Chinese astrology,
right?
Because it'll tell you what's good or bad, or
Totally.
Okay. All right. Cool.
So I'll keep you posted on that.
Please. Yeah.
But I thought, how interesting.
Okay.
Trying to think what other stuff.
Yeah. So what do you got going on this weekend?
Let's see. Coming up this week. What you mean? Rest of this weekend?
Yeah.
I'm thinking about going to the beach. It's that time in Florida where I do my once a week. No, once a week. Like when it's beach weather, kind of getting there, I basically try and go once a week. Like usually on a Sunday, get there about 3-4 hours morning time, I completely de-stress, like just let it, feet in the sand, just let my body, when it gets warmer, jump in the waters, of course, but really just kind of smell and, get all that energy, get all the positive ions.
Hasn't it been a while?
It's been a while, yeah.
Me too.
It's been quite
Just
some
a
time.
couple months for me since I've been to the beach.
Yeah. And it's the one thing I noticed that when I was doing it regular. So when I first moved here, I would go to this beach sporadically, and then maybe about 5 years ago, it occurred to me, like, why am I not doing this regularly? Like, why isn't that a regular part of what I do? The beach is like 45 minutes from my house at that time, a little bit longer now. So now, so it's just a thing I do. So I at least try and go every weekend, or maybe every other weekend, at least twice in a month. I try and go. But I noticed when I did that week, the first 2-3 days slept really good. The positive.
Right, the highest vibe.
Totally.
In the world, the ocean.
The ocean. I mean, just getting connected to Mother Earth, to the ocean. I have a lot of in my astrological chart, I've got a lot of water in my chart.
Right.
So that makes a lot of sense. But yeah. So that's probably what's gonna happen tomorrow.
And you love the East Coast beach, and I love the West Coast.
West Coast beach,
yes.
Yeah. So I like to get down to the West Coast, just a little further away.
It is.
But it's still quite nice. I think maybe it's time to head down a little further south. Maybe check out some beaches on that side. I might want to do
this weekend.
Not this weekend.
Okay.
No, I'd have to plan that a little bit, because if I'm going to go on that part, I want to stay like overnight, maybe.
Okay.
Yeah.
That's awesome.
So that's kind of plan. How about you?
And you're doing sports tonight?
Yeah. So the Orlando Soccer is playing.
Have you been to a game before?
No, first time going to a soccer
never
game.
been.
Never been. I've never been to Orlando Soccer or any soccer at all. So, I like watching soccer.
Right.
It's not usually more a World Cup kind of thing. But a good friend of mine's got some tickets. Got a free ticket. I'm going to be doing my sports thing this week. I did March Madness earlier this week, Thursday. Excuse me. So that was a lot of fun, and so it looks like it's the week of sports. It's a sports themed week this week, so I'm going to take advantage of that. I tend to be more of a homebody, so getting me out is I like to kind of make sure I get out and force myself in cases, but. Because I'm usually quite often studying astrology, reading, researching. That's just what I like to do for fun, right? So it's not work. It's just, let me spend here the next 3 hours, 4 hours just looking at charts and meditating, reading, thinking. Because
we're the same.
The same, right? The kind of work that we do, we just need time to distill, right? Like
much.
It's just naturally kind of what we are, what we do. So, when there's just a lot of activity, I kind of start getting antsy the other way. I'm like, oh, wait up, I'm missing my downtime.
Right.
Where I'm just looking at charts or just having time to just let my mind reflect and stuff. So I know I need that. But this week I'm a little busier, which is fine. It's a nice balance. I don't feel out of balance with that yet, so I can do it.
Nice, son. Yeah, my old friend from college, he's in town tonight opening for a big singer-songwriter.
Okay, nice.
Up in Sanford.
Cool.
So we'll have a little reunion.
Nice.
When's
the last time they were in town?
I was thinking about that today. I think it's been a while since he's been here, like at least 5 years.
Okay.
I would say at least.
Yeah.
And this venue has like a secret little tiki bar that I've heard really good things about.
I used to hang out a lot in downtown Sanford just when they were starting to all the different bars.
Yeah.
And, there was like maybe one brewery when I was there. Now there's like 2 or 3 or it's packed, whatever it is. But it's quite okay, that's kind of cool.
Yeah, so it'll be fun to go up to Sanford. I wish the Sunrail was working.
Yeah.
Actually, I wonder if it is because of the Art Fest.
Oh, you mean
sometimes for big events?
For big events, they
have the Sunrail running.
Okay.
I'll have to look into that.
Sure.
Yeah.
Downtown Sanford has really transformed quite a bit. It's
a fun little.
It's a fun spot. Yeah, it is. It's, the thing with Florida, like there's different spots you go to. Each have their own different character, and it's like, you kind of feel you're not necessarily in Florida. Like when you go to different ones, you're like, Mount Dora is one of my favorite spots to go to.
I've been thinking about that. I really want to go up there.
Yeah.
And I heard they have a brewery right downtown.
See, that must be a new one.
New.
It must be new, yeah. Now they've always had like a lot of
they have wines
wines and just eateries, like good restaurants
really
in general,
restaurants.
real good restaurants. But so it's So, but yeah, to know that they've added another piece of the puzzle is like it's nice. Yeah, so that's really nice.
I'm feeling an outdoor trip.
Yeah. I like doing brunch there often. Every couple
How
months.
far is it from you?
From me, it's a lot closer to me because we have the 429 that connects all the way up, and so it makes a direct shot. So I'm now 30 minutes.
Not bad.
Not bad at all. Yeah. Whereas before it could easily be 45 an hour if you try. Yeah, it's like 30 minutes.
Okay.
I could be right
That's
downtown.
sweet.
Yeah. Interesting. We mentioned that. So one of my favorite restaurants there is called Pisces Rising, right? And it's crazy. So for those who don't know, obviously you would know, but my ascendant is Pisces. So I have a Pisces rising ascendant. And I just found that every time I
of course, you would totally vibe with
I totally vibe with it. So, so it's kind of a spot.
Yeah.
That's my door trip.
Love it. Wait, what was I just going to say? Mount Dora, cute spots, friends in town,
Brunch.
Sanford. Oh, so I was just actually up in Sanford recently, and I took the Sunrail. Amber was in town.
Okay.
And we were just roaming around, and we ended up stopping in this Irish pub just to use the bathroom. And the bartender looked like Sinead O'Connor.
Okay.
And Amber's like, let's get a stout. Now, Amber.
Wow. Okay.
So we ended up like getting a little drink there, and it was just a cute little like old traditional Irish pub.
This was where again?
Sanford. Downtown Sanford.
Okay. Yeah.
It was just such a nice surprise.
Nice surprise. Yeah.
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 Like old school with some soul.
Mm-hmm.
So that was cute.
That is. They've got a vintage record store. I think it's still there.
West End. West End.
Is that what it is there?
Rabbit Foot.
I think that's what it is. That sounds
something
familiar.
like Rabbit Foot. It's
Something
right
like that.
next to West End
Okay.
Trading.
Yes.
Yeah. Okay.
So I just these spots I remember.
Every time I go up there, Rabbit Foot, the record place is closed. I think they have odd hours.
I want to say so. Yeah.
So it can be frustrating, but
That's funny.
we get so many cool spots in our area.
Yeah, there is. Just anything you're kind of in the mood for, you can go to a spot. And,
Yeah.
That's what I love about Florida. Orlando area in particular, right? I mean, yeah. All over they've got things like that for Florida. Like for me, like if I'm going to really small towns, going north, up by Gainesville area, they got a place called Micanopy.
Okay.
Those are those small towns.
Wait, I've heard of that place.
Yeah, that's where they filmed Doc Hollywood
Yes.
with Michael J. Fox.
Okay.
Yep. So that's where that was filmed.
spot.
It's a cool little spot. Yeah, for sure.
Okay.
So Florida's got those nice small towns.
Yeah.
There's a lot of cool things you can do, and of course, all up and down the coast, you got all the different small surf towns, small beach towns. It's just you'll feel like you're in the Caribbean,
Right.
Yeah, especially on the West Coast side. The Gulf side is really quite.
Totally.
So.
Awesome. Well, great catching up.
Great catching up. Awesome. We'll do this again.
Yeah. Till next time.
Till next time.